What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am BDLM coming to you with game number 2 of Carried by Ober versus 211 THE. It's for the Reddit Dota Team League. Always throws me off because I want to call it the Reddit Team Dota League or something. RDTL. Has its own Reddit page, which I think I know off the top of my head, right? But let's play it safe, right? Just tune in the VOD for game number 3. And you guys can check that out. Root for your favorite team. Maybe even root for your favorite caster. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there, right? You don't have to, but you can. It's possible. You know, you have the option. Game number 1. Pretty convincing victory by Carried by Ober. I believe the kill count of THE got up to 8. And that was after Ober completely overcommits with some heroes, giving away 1-for-1 hero trades. And some really neat pickups too. Not what I was expecting from that squad. They don't get the Morphling that they love Ober playing, but they get by just fine with him playing a Chen. A very good Chen. And a great lean up by Snook as well. It's great to see. Darkseer gets through, and he's able to take that side lane solo against the Morphling too, and you can see he actually gets banned out by the team that picks him last game. Lycanthrope, the very first ban of the game. You know, it's kind of interesting to me. He's a lot weaker, I think, especially now that Naga Siren has entered the game. But, you know, she's so ban-worthy too, it's like, you can't really not ban Lycan, because what happens if Naga Siren's the last ban? Then all of a sudden, you have to deal with him. It becomes a little bit more difficult. Still possible to deal with, but you have to do a little bit more work. Chaos Knight gets banned out yet again. Actually, kind of a popular ban out I've noticed in the Reddit League, especially. Nature's Prophet will be banned out. A strong hero for sure, but I don't know, with the pool we have, I'm not sure that he's a worthwhile ban at this point, to be honest with you. Naga Siren's still in the pool. Good to point out. And I think this is especially important at this point in the game because I know
10 seconds remaining.
that Carried by Ober really enjoy that pick. I thought this game was yesterday because they are an Australian team and I am an American caster. So they were like, late one night for me, they were like, games tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay. So my tomorrow meant 12 hours from then. Their tomorrow meant like 24, 36 hours. So, unfortunately, a little bit of miscommunication. But I got to wake up early yesterday, got to play some games with them, actually. And they were like, we love that Naga Siren, but she gets banned out. And what do you know? It eats up 21 seconds of the reserve time to make that decision, but they realize, no, we don't want to give the enemy team that fantastic team fight setup. It's so hard to deal with. You put yourself in a bad position for 1 second, and all of a sudden that 1 second is 7 seconds.
10 seconds remaining.
Last ban out here, still a lot of great heroes in the pool. There wasn't really any hero that was particularly threatening from THE, but Windrunner is actually going to get banned out yet again. It's very interesting to see her banned out 2 times in a row. This lets through the Chen, who made a pretty big impact last game. Enchantress as well. But THE, they get their Leshrac pick again. Random as support in a tri-lane last game. Will they look to do that again? Will they put him in a duel? Will they let him get some farm this game? Because he is so vicious with some farm. Even stronger pusher, counter pusher. Gets that bloodstone. Becomes very difficult to stop. But Aram now has the next 2 picks, and who will he look to grab? Morphling available.
5 seconds remaining.
But so is that Chen. Invoker also available, and that might be something Aram's thinking about. I know Aram likes playing that Invoker. Got to laugh at Ober playing some Invoker yesterday. All in good fun, of course. But eating into the reserve time, not sure what they want to do. They might want to go for that Tinker again. Was a fantastic pick. Iron did a great job in the middle lane playing him. Was able to just shut down that Invoker. Even with a little bit of an unconventional build, really looking to go for all of his abilities, something you don't typically see. A lot of Tinkers will just go to max out 2 of them. And then once they get close to their bots, they'll put a point into that rearm.
Reserve
But
time.
Enigma is actually going to be the very first pickup by Arm. And he's still not sure what he wants for his second one. He's going to grab Enchantress. 33 seconds left in the reserve time. Once we make those first 2 picks count, we can already see a ton of early game. But this might be, again, a place where THE want to pick up some late game. Whether it be in the Morphling, whether it be in another form. Brewmaster's actually going to come out for them, so they want to look for some team fight. Brewmaster's element can run through that Enigma ultimate, can stun him.
Dire team pick.
Invoker, though, going to be that last pick. And we saw Wex Invoker last game. Wanted to get that additional mana drain, which was kind of nice to see. Him sort of just playing the way he thought he would need to for his team. And okay, so apparently carried by Obiter, they've decided, you know what, we're going to be a pushing team today. Let's grab a lone druid. And holy crap, that's a lot of push. And you know what, Turbo Chicken, he's like, yeah, no, let's stop that, shall we? Bans out the Tinker. Noticing that there's still no solo hero for the middle. Enigma is going to be probably played as the side lane solo. A fantastic side lane solo, may I add. Use the demonic conversions to deny creeps. And then when you time your attacks with your hero, you're able to just ensure last hits, ensure denies very easily. So much damage. Tidehunter is actually the next pickup. So you can see, I mean, this is dedicated pushing, in my opinion. I'm banning out big counter push heroes. Okay, we're going to be grouped up. Let's take out the heroes that are going to be able to stop us when we're together. And Tidehunter is a great hero for that. Not only is it an AoE ultimate, not only is it that sort of AoE, the stun disable, you could say, for that short duration, but it's over such a large area. Tidehunter doesn't have to be in the perfect position. He can be in an okay position. And it'll still be devastating to this carried by Obiter squad. Reserve time being used again before Queen of Pain gets banned out. So we saw that ran by THE before. This is where I think, you could say you get a little bit of the advantage of being sort of unknown team in this Reddit league. Shaker also last ban out, but Oroile was actually in the lobby chat, was like, you know what? We need someone to start playing Queen of Pain. So maybe not the most efficient ban against this squad, but you know what? Unless you're following this team, which is of course hard to do when they're not a professional team, they're not playing a large amount of games. Not playing a lot of games that are being publicized to a great degree, it's hard to research these teams, you know? So Turbo Chicken just wants to take out that big AoE ultimate. Wants to take out the mobility. Wants to take out a hero that's going to be able to give Invoker a hard time in that middle lane again. But here we go again into the reserve time. Quite a bit of that used this game. So we go into the 4th pick. Obviously this Invoker probably going to be that solo mid. They could look to run like Brewmaster Leshrac mid. Or in a lane, a different lane as well. Shen, still a possible pickup, but they're going to go with the Shadow Shaman again.
Dire team pick.
They might look to run another tri-lane here, but I don't know if I'd like that, to be honest. Personally, I think, you know, you run Leshrac or Shadow Shaman in a tri-lane, it's like, okay. They're not going to get levels, which is unfortunate, because both those heroes are so devastating with levels. But, you know, they also have a lot of great CC. So looking to just, I guess, optimize that other side of the coin. This hero is so versatile. Venomancer, very near and dear to my heart, will actually take the 4th position. in
seconds
this
remaining.
carried by Ober squad. Just saying, in case I happen to watch the VOD later, I did request a Crobolus or a Bounty Hunter, not making good on that so far through the picks. I'll be very sad if this doesn't go to Game 3 to give me the other opportunity for that, but it's okay. It's okay. Venomancer good enough. I can live with that. Keeper of the Light, you know what? Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. Whatever. 211, fantastic pickup. Fantastic pickup. Keeper of the Light, a great counter pusher. You line up that laser beam, it just shoots across the sky. Alright, that's another great pickup. Pugna.
Team pick.
This is like old school Pugna. This isn't even like the current meta Pugna. We see him come up from time to time when teams pick up just like AoE squads, right? Pugna, I think, was part of what broke that metagame when people were just picking up, you know, Enigma, Tidehunter, like putting all these huge AoE teams together, and people go, okay, Pugna. And then we place down the ward, and then we laugh because you kill yourselves on it. That's what Shadow Shaman's going to be doing all game, unfortunately. And I have a feeling Turbo Chicken just, like, sighed, looked away from his computer, rolls his head, and is like, alright, let's do this thing. See what we can do. So let's go ahead and run through these. Nidalalith,
Prepare for
who is
battle.
actually a substitute for Enzo, is going to be on this Brewmaster. Jurl is going to be on the Lashrak. Oh god, Turbo Chicken on the Shadow Shaman. Hate trying to read some of these names against the green. Icy on the Keeper of the Light. Who else do we have? Ari playing that Invoker. Let's go ahead and look at the carried by Ober squad as well. We're going to have Aram playing that Enigma. Halion on the Pugna. Venomancer played by Snook. Ober playing that Lone Druid. And Orlele on the Enchantress. And they're going to go for a level 1 Roche. It's been a while since I've seen it. Didn't even see it coming, but don't worry. The other team did, and they have a great advantage here. They don't realize it, but right now it's 3v5. The Bear playing really aggressive, wants to try and scare them away. But Venomancer's still not in the area. And here's the question. Do Carried by Obiter want to try and commit here? Ezalor firing off the horse lasers. The Patronus charm, if you will, of Dota 2. Everybody gives up, though. And Matt, that's great heads-up play by THE, realizing, wait a minute, this is really easy for them to take a level 1 Roche. They realize here that some of these heroes are left, and they want to almost try and swoop around, but Halion a lot further ahead than the rest of his team. Are you a girl? Good to know. I just kind of assume that everybody in these games happen to be dudes. Love seeing girls in the game, and not just because of the, you know, ooh, video games, girl. They actually should have just some sort of a small biological advantage playing video games. Think about it, having that better small muscle control than the men who just smash their hands into the keyboard, throw their monitor across the room. Maybe slightly less likely to succumb to the rage punch the monitor, which actually happened at a tournament. I really wish I could remember exactly who that was. But a while back in the competitive scene, a team, there was like a power outage, I believe it was. In the middle of a game, one team thought they had a clear advantage, but the officials in the tournament were like, no, we want you to replay it. The team that thought they had that advantage lost. One guy gets up, walks away from his computer. Other guy decides to Falco punch the monitor. And I'll be honest, can't blame him. That kind of sucks. But, you know, what can you do? Here's hoping that one day esports is big enough where you can have just one big crazy... You can have like the NFL of esports. You have the crazy league that just is able to, you know, be the standard, let's say. But a little bit of a flip here in this game. Getting back into what we see here. Obiter. Oh, he's just going to be running top. I was going to say, going to be running mid. That's interesting. Haven't seen a mid Lone Druid since it was a mid Wild Soul in Han. actually. I haven't actually seen that at all in Dota 2, but is a viable place to put a lone druid. Ari back after discussions with household people. Looks like we will get the game back. Game looking to resume shortly. Wait, I was saying something. Oh yeah, carried by Uber. They actually are the ones with the late game now. And that's, I think, scary. That's a big gamble, I think, for THE. And actually, the Nether Blast actually putting an enchant use on that Shadow Shaman, taking a ton of damage. Do they have enough? Looks like Enigma's over here, but he didn't go for the level 1 Malefice. Brewmaster trying to come in here and see if he can pick up an early kill. Lays down that Thunderclap, but they don't have enough damage to take out Pugna. Venomancer with the wards. See, they were all set up for this level 1 Roche. And they're not going to be able to make anything happen down here. If they had Malefice, may have been able to pick up a kill. If they had the Venomous Gale, might have been able to pick up a kill. They don't have anything, and Enchantress wants to run a really aggressive jungle by the looks of it. What is going on down here? It's a 5-1 strat. Oh man, or 4-1. My math is a little weak, pardon me. They are just going to try and destroy this tower. Carried by Odor, playing out of the box. Keeper of the Light's like, what? Why am I alone? This doesn't make any sense. If I'm them, I'm switching the Keeper of the Light for the Leshrac as soon as is possible. Get the counter push where they need it. He's going to try and land out the stun and try and do what he can, but Keeper of the Light should not be the one getting this free farm. They need to get the money for the TPs and make that swap happen as soon as possible. Centaur Khan coming in already onto the Brewmaster, tries to lay out the stun, but it's not enough. Now it actually looks like Pugna in a little bit of trouble, tries to come in here and lay down another blast. Does a good job, but he actually pulls the creeps, and that's great for the Dire squad, trying to put some additional pressure on this Tier 1 tower, already down to 1,000 health. A TP comes down, and yes, it looks like they are going to just either run this 4v4 or they're going to switch it up. If I'm them, I am sending that Leshrac top. They might just try and 4v4 it. This is going to be a 2-lane game, my friends. You know what? Forget it. Let's go League of Legends style, right? We go back into the draft. We do all random, all mid. We make a game of it. But for the time being, it's 4 versus 4 bottom. And Pugna playing way aggressive. Has to be a little bit careful here. Ezreal doing a great job holding off this push. And that's exactly why I was calling for him down in this bottom lane. He's just going to be able to... it's actually prioritizing the Chakra magic. Let's keep the mana up on everybody. Can't blame him for that. I imagine just going to focus on putting points into the Illuminate and in the Chakra magic. One of the most recent additions to Dota 2, showing why he's such an important hero to have. This is exactly why you could be sending that Leshrac to the top lane. He could be getting levels. He could be having the farm of his life and force this Dire squad into just wasting experience, sharing it between 4 heroes, and they will actually send the Brewmaster top. So they're looking for him to get that Blink Dagger quickly. They're looking for him to get the Aghanim Scepter. The Dire side are going to see this, though, and now they're left with the quandary of, well, do we try and force this? Do we want that early tower that bad? The Venomous Gale is actually going to come out on Ezreal. He's taking a little bit of damage, but he might be okay. Level 2 just now hit for Pugna. I was wondering where that Decrepify was, and he didn't have it yet. So that's why he didn't use it. Sun coming out on the Pugna. Man, this is a gamble. Are they going to be able to get the early enough farm? And I've ignored this middle lane completely. Ari splitting up again, actually, with the leveling. Sitting with 3 instances of Exort, but taking a lot of damage, a lot of harassment from this bear. This is why Lone Druid is such a great solo mid, even though we don't see him played that way ever. And I can't stop watching this bottom lane. Because here you go, Shackles on the Enigma. The Sun followed up by Leshrac. Will it be enough damage? Yes, Keeper of the Light will actually get the first blood. Now some damage returned onto the Shadow Shaman. This is going to be enough, and Pugna will actually take that out with the auto attacks. Now Leshrac, it might also be in trouble, but in comes the Sunstrike. It's not going to be enough to get sweet, sweet revenge.
My sprites are with us.
Brewmaster up here by himself, sitting on 500 gold now. Going to be able to pick up his boots very soon. But anyway, hopefully while there's a little bit of peace down here, Lone Druid's such a great solo. Because he can do so much harass damage with the berries. You can see there's an entangle. Is this going to be enough? Realizes the advantage he has. No, he's going to barely be able to get that Ghost Walk off. Or she, pardon me. Ari, going to be able to get that Ghost Walk activated. As the bottle, but oh man, having such a tough time in this middle lane. Bear too strong. And they finally realize, okay, we're not getting the advantage we need. Ezreal too strong. We're trying to send Enigma up there. So, okay, this is a little bit more like I was expecting. I'm still surprised to see Enchantress down here in the lane. And actually, Venomous Gale being prioritized. This I find very strange. They say they want to push with this 4-1 strat, but Venomancer not prioritizing Plague Wards. Very interesting. And leveling up this Venomous Gale, not really all that effective, in my opinion. A lot of damage coming out on that Enchantress. Down to 150 health. Forced to pop the sprites. But up here in the top, Shadow Shaman, he wants to try and set something up here on the Enigma. Will he be able to? We can see the Brewmaster's playing super aggressive. And there you have the Shackles. Are we going to have the Thunderclap? Yeah, trying to save that to make the slow last as long as possible. But these minions doing so much damage. Iron will go down, but he will get a trade. Will he be able to get more from it? The Eidolon's doing so much damage. Brewmaster's sitting pretty, though. He's going to be okay. Pops the wand. He'll be okay. Leshrac still dedicating to that counter push. What's another point in the lightning storm, and you can't blame him at all. But yeah, you know, another great reason to run this Wild Soul, or the Lone Druid, see, now I've got myself all confused, this Lone Druid solo, is that he can actually use his bear to block a lot of the skill shots. The Marana arrow is fantastic. And so it gives him a little bit more defense in this middle lane than a lot of other heroes have.
Methinks you wanted that.
He's able to allow that bear to attack somebody who might be chasing him down. Get that entangling root, deal a little bit extra damage, and hold them in place. Keep them away. But it's great that THE were actually able to stave off this early attack. And they're going to try and get themselves an advantage here in the early game. A lot of damage coming out on the Lone Druid, and the Sunstrike's going to be enough. There you had the Tangle, like I was talking about, holding back the Invoker, keeping him out of auto attack range. Heads up play by Ari, though, invokes that Sunstrike. Makes it land 3 points in that already. The Sunstrike's hitting hard, as well as the Invoker himself.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Look, there's no points in Decrepify, all in the ward. So they are very interested in making it count in the middle game. But the control that THE were never really able to get in that first game, they're getting a little bit of it here. They're keeping the score even. They're not letting it run away. They're actually running a dual lane here again against the Enigma. Trying to see if they can get another shackle on him, but these Eidolons, they hurt. Ezreal does about half of Venomancer's health. Keeper of the Light. Level 3 Illuminate. Hits so hard. Pugna's going to try and set up something here. It's going to be difficult. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage to Ari. But they don't have any crowd control. Hold her in place. She ghost walks. They know where she is still. Doesn't look like anything's going to come of it. She gets out just fine. Wastes a little bit of the Pugna's time as he looks to move around. Here's the cool thing, too, about the Enigma. Running him in the side lane solo, he can just come over off to the side, pick up some additional farm when he doesn't feel safe. I don't blame him for feeling unsafe against Shadow Shaman. Eidolons will continue to chase, put up some harassment damage. But he's sitting in a great position, 1,000 gold with a Ring of Regeneration. Kind of showing his hand there. Might be going for the mech, might be going... Oh, missed the middle lane, pardon me. I assume an Entangle helps get that kill. Pugna's second attempt on that Invoker will actually work. 3 heroes actually come up to the top lane. So they go back to their original strategy. They move the tri-lane back. Not sure if I like this decision or not. This will actually break the tri-lane down bottom as well. Finally, everything settling down. Lone Druid does get a kill on this middle tower, sitting on 2,000 gold. 9 minutes in. Has the tranquil boots. What's he got on that bear? The bear's the bank early on, and he keeps getting in my way. There we go. Bear has nothing. The bear gets that last creep kill and then bounces. It's like, nope, not interested in this. And now the push that came so hard carried by Obiter is actually going to come out from THE. This is a lot of push potential. Shadow Shaman only level 5, not 6 yet. Leshrac only 1 point in the Diabolic Edict, but these 3 heroes can put up a ton of pressure. We have well, where is he? Where are you, buddy? Trying to go in here on Arm. They have the Sunstrike. They have the Sun, and that's going to be enough. 4 for 4 here. It's time to check the gold graph, I think. I want to see how this craziness is working out. It's working in the favor of the Dire by about 2,000. The experience, though, in favor of the Radiant.
Thank you.
Sitting that Brewmaster top, I think that's really where you see that advantage in experience coming from. Venomancer placing wards behind the tower, but looks like those wards only level 2. Yep. And there comes a Venomous Gale. They want to try and go in here. Lone Druid here as well. Can they get an Entangling Roots? Are they going to be able to hold him in place? Ezreal does have the ultimate. He does look to push everybody back. Keeper of Light does get a kill on that Venomancer, making it a 1-for-1 trade. Additional TPs will come down here, but it's just the Shadow Shaman. He's going to be in trouble. Gets taken down before the second TP can come in. Are they going to take the second TP in as well? Just TPing to their death. Leshrac getting very low again. It gets enchanted. Lone Druid coming in here, just punching Leshrac in the face. Poor decision here by the Radiant squad, teleporting in one at a time. And that's going to spell the tier 1 tower as well as 2 kills. Shadow Shaman very sad. He didn't have enough mana to follow up there. You can't blame him. Costing a little bit of mana to TP in. It must have taken just enough mana for him to be able to ward. Now the Dire, they realize all those heroes dead, so many of them went bottom. Galing the creeps, placing the wards down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Eidolons and level 2 wards. Looks like it's going to be enough. So much damage coming out. Level 4 Eidolons, I imagine, yep. Venomancer actually gets that last hit.
Dire's middle tower
The Dire push continues. They look to take it to the next tower. There's actually going to be a little bit of a scuffle up here. Venomancer meets Invoker. Actually, here in the bottom, Leshrac actually lands a stun on Obiter. Keep it light, taking some additional damage. You know, I really do actually like running these 2 heroes together, running the Enchantress with a Lone Druid. I would go so far as to say is that Lone Druid can be the absolute strongest late game hero because he just has 6 more item slots. It's hard to contest an additional 6 items that he could put on that bear. You're teaming that with a hero that starts to fall off towards the end of the game. I think does a great job up until like the 40, 50 minute mark, but once you start getting those hour-long games, what does she really do? The Impetus hurts, but does it hurt enough? I want to keep my eye on this Venomancer. I'm kind of intrigued by this build. Well, actually, Venomous Gale. The Invoker, they pop the dust. Will they have enough damage? Pugna Nether Blast doing a ton. Invoker just putting up the Wex, looking to run away as quickly as possible. But the Poison Sting, will it be enough? It slows him down enough for the Pugna to get a kill, but gets stunned in tower range, and that's going to be enough for Shadow Shaman to Ether Shock. Gets a little bit of a rebuttal there. Venomancer has to run with his life. Will Snook make it out? Arm nearby. Try and make sure that it will. Now Enigma actually gets himself in some sticky situation. The ultimate being dropped here on top of the Shadow Shaman wards though, so both teams taking a ton of damage. Shadow Shaman in a little bit of danger will get taken out here. The ultimate drop by that Panda Brewmaster looking to try and pursue Aram. He's just going to stay here with the Enchantress and heal up. They wanted to see if they can try and go back in on the Brewmaster when he comes back out. Ezreal will actually try and come in here. Aram almost back up to full health. Could look to re-engage. They're going to farm these wards though. And that's the danger of putting Shadow Shaman wards down away from a tower. Keep it late. He wants to get some kills. Actually, further down, Snook in a little bit of trouble. There. Oh man, they walk right into that charged up Keeper of the Light Illuminate. The ultimate allowing him to leave that spell charging while he runs to do something else. And actually Malphite's Son, that might give Shadow Shaman, or the bear, enough time to root the Shadow Shaman. The very last hit, it will be enough. Enigma will actually get the very last hit on that. They try and Sunstrike down the Venomancer, but it's just not enough.
Where are you going?
They actually enchant the Invoker. Might be able to get that Ghost Walk up in time. It's going to just try and walk away, and yet again, the Pugna Nether Blast, the bane of Invoker. 6-12 now. These last few engagements just not working out and carried by Obder's favor. Roshan being pinged. They're actually going to go in here on Leshrac, taking additional damage again. In comes the Impetus. It's going to be enough with the enchant. And interesting, for the 2 early points in that Nether Ward, I can't say that I've actually seen it placed yet. Interestingly enough. Not even hidden in the trees off to the side. Healing just not taking advantage of that. But doesn't need it, clearly. 13-6. Now the poor bear, will he go down? No, gets recreated. The Radiance Recipe bought ahead. Has the Relic, okay, I was about to say, has the Relic and the Recipe on separate parts of his hero. Finally puts them together. They're like, you know what, Radiance? I think this means the Roshan's available. Arum, Snook, and Ober look to take positions. Ari, though, does counter ward. Didn't see the Dire run into the pit, but Arm is actually going to come out here with Enchantress and Pugna. They're going to look try and take down the Invoker. Do they have enough damage? The last attack will not be enough. 3 health surviving on. Keeper of the Light comes in to try and defend, and look how much damage Illuminate does. Enchantress, such a squishy hero, but you know what? Pugna squishy enough, it looks like. Taking a lot of damage, but the Thunderclap does not hit, will not ensure that. The Sprite's coming out. That's going to heal Pugna up with the help of the Urn Charge there. Gets back to full health, and all that a distraction.
This is quite
Meaning that Obder gets himself that Aegis of the Immortal. A lot of wards out by the Radiant, but it's not enough. And now, actually, Keeper of the Light getting engaged on here, being slowed. A great stun is actually going to stop Lone Druid in his tracks. Thunderclap comes out, hitting nothing, though, unfortunately. Lone Druid looking to just dive past the tower, but Panda Brewmaster's going to pop that ultimate. The bear looking to go crazy behind. He wants to try and get a kill with the Radiance. He's able to get one. He's getting really low, though. Might be able to get taken out here, but they're going to turn around and take out the Leshrac. A second kill. Will get the stun on Arum, but it's not enough to save his life. Venomancer now trying to see if he can get a good position for that Venomous Gale. EMP coming out, though, so that's going to drain a decent amount of mana. Nope, it's actually going to miss everybody. As the Dire look to turn around and just take this tower. Popping that Battle Cry. So much damage. Pugna Nether Blast. Going to claim that last skill. Looking around, there's only one big item up. Okay, 2. Mech is also up. But it's really just the Radiance doing all the damage at this point. The bear does get killed here. Pulled up again, but they did a lot of damage there to Obder, but now Grey Black Hole catches 4 or 5 heroes out. They're going to be able to take one out immediately. Brewmaster falls second. Then the Leshrac. 4 heroes down. Nom Nom says it's Turbo Chicken. Great Black Hole. THE just not realizing that was available, staying grouped up. 18 minutes into the game, the first Rax falls. Is all hope gone for THE? Can they come back? Leshrac and Shadow Shaman trying to take out these creeps. Are they going to be able to? I'd like to hope. Now they might be able to catch all this Venomancer. Way overextended. Are they going to be able to catch him? The Cold Snap comes out, and that will be enough time for the Shackle. A lot of damage coming out, and they do. Brewmaster gets that kill. Venomancer buys back. Feeling so far ahead. He's willing to waste that money. Keep the push alive. Push alive and well here in the middle lane. Looking to take down this tower. And actually, Invoker gets A lot of damage here. Will the Pugna have the blast up? 1 second to go. Will not be able to land it down. A second mech constructed by Halion. Lightning Storm coming out. Some additional counter push being attempted there. Spear Prayer getting very low. They might be able to take it out. Be able to destroy a lot of that Radiance damage, but Shadow Shaman goes down immediately. Venomizer helps ensure that Lestrat goes down with that ultimate. Invoker getting taken out as well. And will the Brewmaster be able to get out? No. Obiter getting taken very low, but it doesn't matter. He has 7 seconds without his bear buddy, but you know what? I think he's okay with it. Keeper of the Light doing whatever he can to try and hold back the Steyr squad, but it's just not enough on its own. The wave enough to take out Obiter, but Aegis the Immortal, so he comes right back in here. So thanks for the mana, bruh. The bear out, tanking the tower. They're gonna get the kill. Pugna grabs that with the Nether Blast. These Radiant heroes doing so much, doing whatever they can. The ward's out. Is he going to try and get in a good position to lay them? Just walked in and gets annihilated. Nothing he can do. The Pugna does actually use the ward. I'm glad to see that on cooldown, because I was just about to say, it's surprising. Still not see it. So maybe I'm just blind, missing them all. Master still 1,000 gold off that dagger. I think that's really what this Radiant squad's missing too, that farm on him. They don't have any initiation. They can't even look to try and catch the Dire in a bad position. As long as the Dire stay together, they'll be good. You know, these positions where Armnell maybe a little bit further ahead than the rest of his team, they can't take advantage of it. And now actually they're going to have the Sheep on the Pugna. Is he going to be able to get taken down? No, he lays down the ward, doing a ton of damage, actually. He's going to shore 1 death, and now a big black hole, catching another 3 heroes. Amazing black hole so far this game, and yet a third to follow. Keeper of the Light getting taken down very low as well, and the rest of the Radiant team trying to run away, but they realize all hope is gone. JRRL will call the GG. The rest of the squad calling out the GGs, but don't worry. Turbo Chicken, big smiles. A fun series to cast indeed. Swept by, carried by Obiter. 2-0 in the Reddit League game. 211. Just unable to stop the push that Obiter are putting out these games. Shout out to Doris Low. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. Get the shout outs out while we can. Haven't had any of this game as Brewmaster gets taken down the back. Shadow Shaman Ward's being placed out, doing a ton of damage with the Ether Shock, but not able to do anything with it. It's not enough. And Shadow Shaman gets destroyed, unfortunately. Ari will just survive. Just barely. It's back to safety. Poor Dire Courier. Courier. Shrek, tanking like a boss, trading hits. No Aghanim Scepter, a relic on the Enchantress. Glass Cannon for show.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So we can do some additional auto attack damage there. With that emphasis. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for joining me in these VODs / perhaps Dota TV. It's great to have y'all here. I do like casting these games when I get the chance. Unfortunately, Tissue Paper Internets makes it a little bit difficult. I'm sorry I couldn't get this streaming on the Twitch TV, but you know what? You guys can check out the Dota On Demand Twitch TV. I probably should have said that the other way around. Twitch.tv/Dota On Demand.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Your man's for grabbing the strike there. You can also check out the Dota On Demand YouTube. Again, should have said it the other way around. But I do as I please. I'll just have to reiterate youtube.com/DotaOnDemand, where you can check out these VODs, which will hopefully be up soon. And there you go. Here's your stat screen, ladies and gentlemen. My name is BDLM, coming to you with Dota On Demand. And there you have it. Carried by Obiter, 2-0 over 211.